Days just keep getting darker for FIFA, I'm afraid. FIFA corruption scandal. Latest is that Germany sent Saudi Arabia weapons in exchange for support of their bid to host the 2006 World Cup. The allegations get more amazing to me. I don't know in terms of how much depth they hold and how dense these stories are, but they're still unbelievable. The extent that they're going to, and before we get into it...
Real quick, reread that. Reread that headline.
Germany sent Saudi Arabia weapons. Weapons to sway a vote. Unbelievable. So let's take a quick look at the quote and where this story has emerged from. So according to reports by the defies newspaper seen by Mail Online, great, right? Then Chancellor Gerhard Schröder's government allegedly complied with a request from the German Football Association to send Saudi Arabia arms in an attempt to steer the Middle Eastern nation away from backing Morocco in the knife-edge vote in 2000. So
let's just send, like, here's to me what's amazing. It's like when money gets involved and bribes get involved, the German Football Association was okay with sending a pathologically insane country. I don't get very political. I keep my political things to myself. When it crosses with sports, need to express my opinion.
Yeah.
This is how, when people say, like, why is, like, football so big? People are sending weapons, or one person in this case, weapons for votes. You actually look at that and you kind of think to yourself, when has something gotten too big? And then you start thinking to yourself, similar to 2009 financial crisis in the United States, is it too big to ever fail?
Yeah.
Because weapons are involved. That to me is pathological.
Well, you just mentioned it there. How big can something get? How big is the sport? How big is a sport in terms...
How many yachts could you water ski behind? I always will go back to the Gordon Gekko quote from Wall Street because that to me is what it rings in my head.
But like, the reason people are wondering, like, I met someone in a bar the other day and they're like, why is Russia, pardon my accent, why is Russia so mad about this World Cup if they lose it? It's because the world's eyes are on a nation. So if a nation that has been given this tournament, this world focus point, it's basically a magnifying glass into how great your country is, because no one sees the dark streets in Brazil. They just see the massive stadium. They see the massive parties.
Right.
What happens? People want to go to Brazil. People want to invest money in tourism. Who gets it? The higher-ups. So if Russia lose a World Cup because of someone meddling, because that's what it is, it's meddling.
It's going
to be humiliating, and it's going to hurt them. Because I talked about this economically. Russia were speaking to Roman Abramovich to get money to try and fund this World Cup. So they go back to the original point. It's huge. The sport is huge. So if someone who gets the tournament, whether they think it's right or wrong, if that's stripped away from them, or if arms are sent to persuade someone to do it, they're going to do whatever it takes to bring that country money, bring that country to the tournament. And it extends way beyond football. Football at this point is the minuscule little dot that people are using as the excuse. It's not even anywhere near the main reason.
It keeps structuring in my head that, like, weapons are bigger than money in this situation. Like,
well,
we'll give you weapons.
The point is, like,
$1.6 million bribe is not enough. You can have a missile. And that's literally one of the arms that was listed in a different article.
And it's not
missile.
Not only this, is that this is a further one, and this is what I talked about when I talked about the domino effect, is that to give you more context, more sponsors are going to be starting to come involved, because I don't believe that everyone's hands are clean. I believe that people will pay in the major sponsors. So Dizet, the same article, reported claims that German firms, including Volkswagen and Bayer, pledged to up their investments in Thailand and South Korea, investing 100 million euros in the South Korean firm Hyundai when it came to this competition as well, because everyone's got relations all over the world and everyone wants their name. It turns out with the World Cup, they turn away brands. We're in here fighting to try and get brands in TYT. Come work, advertise. The World Cup, obviously, because the world are there. They're like, no, we don't need you. We've got McDonald's, we've got Visa. So if people can start upping their investment and people start to get their name out there more for the World Cup, more money's going to get involved and more bribes are going to be
And you
passed
also
on.
think of the power of the sponsors.
Yes, of course.
McDonald's, Visa, these are not small name companies. These are organizations and companies that are plastered everywhere. There's not one person in the world who doesn't know what McDonald's is.
Yeah. So, I mean, this dark scandal, as we talked about, we predicted, it's just going to get worse and worse. More scandals will come out. I keep reiterating this, because do not believe we're trying our best. We're going to be the bullshit filter here at TIT Sports. We're going to try and filter through. This article had enough substance and enough backup that we actually spoke about how this can affect the football world. So we want to give it to you guys. We don't want to bullshit you and tell you that Sepp Blatter's dating Irina Shayk. We managed to disclose that was just a rumor going around. But this is
gotta bring you
information.
some lighthearted news.
This is information that you need to check up yourself as well if you're really interested
Right.
in the topic. But there's other things going on. What else is it just came out that's bringing a further negative light to FIFA?
Well, so here's the quote I want to read, because as we promised you before, we know we've been throwing out a lot of the names. These guys who have been indicted, these officials, vice presidents, and it gets very confusing because, like, I've always been confused. Why is there 12 vice presidents of companies? Just fill me in as we go. So another name that you're going to hear a lot of, we already mentioned Jack Warner in previous clips. Make sure to check those out. We have B-roll strips in those clips for you guys to check them out, so you can put a name to the face. Jack Warner is also the guy, my favorite thing, who used an Onion article, the satirical newspaper and online magazine, as defense against the U.S. So here's the next one, Jerome Valk. And I apologize if I'm mispronouncing this, but as 7 FIFA officials continue to fight extradition to the U.S. over claims that they were involved in a World Cup of fraud, Blatter's right-hand man, Valk, remained at the center of speculation over what he knew about a $10 million payment to the disgraced former vice president, Jack Warner, and pressure on the Football Association of Ireland also grew amid the fallout from its admission that it agreed to a secret payment after threatening legal action in the wake of Thierry Henry's handball. So the whole point of these two clips, in a way, is when we were discussing the Thierry Henry handball and the Irish Football Association, it does all link back to a lot of these same guys. Valk, Jack Warner, of course, Sepp Blatter, and that's where the tie comes into the World Cup votes regarding Germany giving Saudi Arabia weapons. They're all linked in some crazy, messed up way.
And this is the point that I wanted to proclaim at the very start, and I did as soon as we broke the story on the main show, is that I don't care if you're a CEO of a company and you claim that you had no idea. When it's transactions of $10 million that are going through FIFA accounts, someone has to be held accountable. And if it's your right-hand man, then you're going to be held accountable because it's a man that works directly under you, that is using basically your authority to issue these transactions through. So this is what mostly every newspaper believes is holding Sepp Blatter down, and this is part of the reason why he resigned, and we're just waiting for that concrete fact. There's emails now being emerged, apparently, that are linking Sepp Blatter's name to just knowing about this transaction.
Well, that's like the first rule of law, get it in writing. So obviously something is going to start coming up with Sepp Blatter's name on it in writing. One of the interesting things I keep thinking about, and not to make too lighthearted of a situation, is like, you know the app Venmo?
Yes, they send money.
I would love, and please someone on the internet come up with this, like they always had like the NFL quarterbacks talking back to each other, what football players, like world football players, say to each other in like a fake satirical way.
Yeah.
We'd love to see like what Venmo transactions happen between Sepp Blatter and Jack Warner. Here's $10 million, please vote for me, thumbs up emoji.
And Venmo's so easy. You can literally just put in it. You don't have to really put like some
pizza, smiley face.
Yeah, some things in like in PayPal you have to kind of put like sending money back across. I don't think there's a drop down for bribe on there. So, but in Venmo you could just be like, take it. It's just for you. Like just buy your wife something nice.
You're looking
this
through,
is your
you're
thing.
looking through your phone. You're just like, oh, Sepp Blatter just went to $10 million. There's a birthday party hat. I wasn't invited. How rude of Mr.
Venmo
Blatter.
Venmo's
we
amazing.
do have one more FIFA-related story, Francis.
And this is where we can all just laugh. Like, just laugh, because
which one?
The laugh about the movie.
I'm sorry,
It's flopped harder than what's the movie this year? Flopped harder than Arjen Robin. How do you
nailed it.
Coming out? You nailed the joke this time. You got it. Give yourself a pat in the back. Good job.
Proud of me.
Trained monkey did it well. All right, let's just have a good old laugh. It's ironically named United Passions. United together. Everyone in FIFA comes together to make a great movie, and Tim Roth
the legend
is
of
Sepp
football.
Blatter. But let's be honest, that's not a bad cast. Tim Roth is in that. And
There he is.
This is my movie critic side of me is yelling at me. How do I not know that guy's name? Jurassic Park main leader. Is it Sam Neill? I was like, Jesus, I couldn't remember. Good cast. Tim Roth, by the way, side note, gets his hair cut by the same guy as me. Check him out.
Tim Roth, side note, Mr. Orange, great performance, Reservoir Dogs.
That's what I was going to say. He's Mr. Reservoir Dog. I like him a lot. Very good guy. Don't like him as much after he played Sepp Blatter in a positive light. It wasn't a movie that's now been funded to bring down FIFA, which should be made. Someone out there should be making this movie and linking it to some sort of mafia-style movie that was going around there, because this is just, you right now?
I'm going to write you a check for $10 million to play Sepp Blatter in a movie, and if you're Tim Roth, what do you say?
I don't want this check. Just look how bad he ripped that. I don't want to have to put $10 million sign on it. I'll take it. But yeah, so see how much money it made?
What Transformers cost.
See how much money it got in its first week?
I'm going to go with something for 2000, Trebek.
$807. 2 people attended it in the US, and I'm positive one of them was Alonso Duralde, who is our go-to movie critic here. I think I need to check his bank balance. I think he liked it. I think Sepp's sending him some transaction. Alonso, you're my friend and everything, but I'm going to check your transaction because he gave it something of a good review. But it's just hilarious how this movie came out around the same time as the scandal, and it's called United Passions, about the rise of FIFA. And the trailer for the scene is like some guy sitting up and having that light bulb moment. We're going to call it the Football de Federation Nacional.
You tried.
Along that line, I tried.
Tried.
It was too quick to ramble off in French.
And the Russian judge gives it a 4.
Not Russian, French.
Whatever, French judge gives it a 3.
Okay, so if you want to check out that movie, we will absolutely not leave a link below because we don't want you to watch this movie. We want you just to continue to watch us and laugh at all the problems that's going on at FIFA. But as always, comment in the section below. Continue to subscribe. It is absolutely free at TYT Sports, and we will be talking like this forever like game show host. Jason, take us home.
Alonso, we love you dearly. Make sure to check him out on whattheflickandtherap.com. We can't just make fun of Alonso.
I didn't make fun of him.
I'm going to plug it for him. He's a great movie critic, so we only make fun of you because we love you. Take us home. Subscribe.
He calls me a trollop.
You are a trollop. Look at those angles.
Spell it.
Trollop. Done. Win. Exit the clip. Subscribe. Is that it? Was that right?
Trollop.
Fuck.